What's up, YouTube? All right, guys, I realize I'm not coming to you from my standard vision point, but I'm on Zoom right now. And I'm on Zoom for a very good reason, because I want to show you something that's super, super powerful that will probably change your business and for the better. And for a lot of you guys, this is going to be maybe brand new. Maybe you know about this and you're not using it, or maybe it's something that you already know about and you are using, and it's being really, really successful for you, because naturally it would be. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about KPIs and tracking. And more so, I'm talking about inputs and outputs, right? So it's just like school. It's what you put in is what you get out, right? So if you don't study for the tests, if you don't show up to class, right? Those are your inputs, right? What are the outputs going to be? The outputs are going to be bad grades, you failing school. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be good, right? So the same principles apply to business. And when I talk about that, basically, it's way easier, right? It's way more simple, because we in Recruiter Empire have broken it down to a science. I'm going to drop this video on YouTube. I'm going to drop it on Facebook so you guys can all review this stuff. And I'm going to show you a document. I'm going to show you something. So those of you that are already using KPIs and you're tracking, you're like, I've got this down to a science. Don't click off of this, because I think you probably need an 8-minute refresher course. Those of you that are not using this or don't even know anything about this, absolutely stay on this. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and we're going to pop right into this tracker. So this tracker here is really, really straightforward, right? So this is a simple version of something that we utilize inside Recruiter Empire for every single student. And let me maximize myself a little bit here. Give myself a little more credit. There we go. Hey, what's up, guys? All right. So, okay. So it's really this simple, right? So like, take a look at this monthly earnings goal, right? Like, what do you want to earn on a monthly basis? If we were to change this to you're brand new and you just want to make your first $5,000, that's great. Okay. And, we want to insert here that you want to make $5,000 per placement or whatever that number is. So this would just look like in your first monthly earnings goal, you want to make 5K. Cool. And you want to make that 5K in one placement. Okay, awesome. So basically, we have benchmarks down here, right? We already built this stuff in. This is a formula, in case you can't understand. This is a formula where all of these numbers are actually already input, right? They're already set up. They're already mathematically formulated. And so are these, and so are the benchmarks, right? So these are our average student benchmarks that already tell us exactly what you need to be hitting in order to be actually hitting this number that you input that you wanted to put in, right? So let's change it up, right? Let's say you wanted to make $20,000. Okay, perfect. Now, notice when I did that, all these numbers right here flipped. If you didn't see that, rewind the video real quick and see how they all just flipped into different numbers, right? Because here's what it's telling you. It's telling you how many contracts you need. It's telling you how many meetings you need. Telling you how many booked calls you need, how many positive replies you need, how many cold emails you need to be sending out on a weekly basis, daily, and a monthly basis, right? So that's really important information. And in Recruiter Empire, we have this down to a science, right? We have it down to a literal T, where you know exactly what you need to be doing, because we have these benchmarks and we know precisely year over year over year over our data, right? The data doesn't lie, numbers never lie, right? And that's why I'm showing you guys this. So with your actual, which is all the stuff that's happening inside your business, right? We would put in here what you're actually getting. Let's just say interviews per placement, you're actually getting more like 30%, right? Okay. Let's say screenings per interview, you're actually getting something more like 25%. And let's say messages per screening, that's going to stay the same. Meetings per contract, you're getting about half of those. And the show rate is at 80%. That's pretty good. And let's just say for some reason, the show rate wasn't that great and it was 30%. Okay, boom. Well, that tells us exactly what the problem is, right? So you can understand by looking at this 30% right here, your show rate percentage is 30%. And your show rate, a KPI as a benchmark, right, for a successful student that would actually make $20,000 in 1 month should be more like 80%. So you're about 50% off of that. You're about 50 points off that mark, which means we can reverse engineer that, right? So we can reverse engineer it by looking at that and saying, okay, so your actual show rate is 30%. We need to bring that up to 50%. With that being said, how do we do that? Well, let's go back into your messaging. Let's go back into, again, how many emails are you sending out? Let's go back into your value proposition. Let's go back into your communication. Like how well are you communicating with your prospects? Are you telling them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear? Are you telling them, like, are you giving them a good value prop on exactly why they should take a meeting with you and actually show up to that meeting, right? Show up to the Zoom, show up to the call, whatever it is. But guys, it doesn't matter. We're going to dissect every little thing on this tracker to identify exactly what your KPIs should be, because it's super important that you know your numbers. I know everybody says, know your numbers, know your numbers, know your numbers. The reason they say it is because numbers and data don't lie, right? So if I showed you $1 million in cash, real cash, right? That doesn't lie. That is $1 million, right? So if I showed you data that could produce you $1 million, that is the same thing. Those two are not mutually exclusive. They're not mutually exclusive because they're the same thing. If I showed you data that can create $1 million, then that's exactly what it's going to do. If I showed you $1 million, it's $1 million. It's literally the same thing. That being said, I want to explain to you that the way that we teach, the way we coach, the way we mentor is we use data-driven predictive analysis. I know it's a mouthful, right? But data, right, to drive, okay, the predictions of our analyses. And we've gotten pretty damn good at it, right? So understanding how tracking your numbers, knowing your numbers, and then executing based on various numbers and inputs and outputs is going to grow your business and help you scale. So I hope this video here was definitely very, very helpful to you in understanding exactly what you need to do on your tracking, on your inputs and on your outputs. And happy Monday, everybody. And I hope you start this Monday off with a bang. And I hope you started off by actually taking a look at your numbers, right? Because for those of you that are in Recruiter Empire, you're going to be using this. For those of you that are jumping into Recruiter Empire, you're going to be using this, right? Because you probably haven't before. You probably haven't been tracking your numbers properly. Maybe you've been tracking them in some jankety way where it doesn't actually give you the proper outputs to understand what you need to input, right? So that you can get to the right output that you want, right? You've been struggling across 10K a month and you just have no idea why. Well, maybe it's your email open rate. We just need to look at your email copy and your value proposition, right? It could be a million ways from Sunday, but bottom line is it's all about inputs and outputs. And that's what it really comes down to. So when we get to a data-driven version of everything that we need to do, that's exactly where we need to be. And that's exactly where we find our most successful students, right? That's where we find our students that are doing 200,000 to 300,000 annually after they take Recruiter Empire mentorship, guys. So really excited for you guys to be in that. Hey, I missed one more thing. If you're brand new, if you're just checking everything out, I want you guys 100% to be inside Recruiter Empire, which is our Facebook group right here. All you need to do is find Recruiter Empire online, join the group, pop right in here. Why did I click on that? Whoops. Yeah, this is what happens when you just film a video off the cuff and your computer lags and all that kind of stuff. Here's Recruiter Empire. Guys, join the group. You want to join us? We're almost at 16,000 members exactly. So pop on in here. I want you guys in here. There's so much content for you guys to digest and so much for you to take in here. Also, if you want to book a call with the Empire team, I will leave the link in description of this video so that you can check it out and book a call with the Empire team. We would love to speak with you, find out if you're a fit, find out if you're in the spot where you're ready to blast off, take off, build your empire, and create something really, really special. All right, guys, I'll catch you next time.